Good evening and welcome to Let's Talk Shop with Russ. I have the monitor up there, had the YouTube on too, and I was getting an echo in my ears from that other monitor. And I was like, what the heck? And then it dawned on me that I had not muted the other one. So, but how's everybody doing? And if y'all seen my post on Facebook, I had eye surgery Friday for a cataract, and they removed the cataract from my eye and replaced it with a lens. And I upgraded the lens to I don't know exactly how you want to put it, a lens that fits my eye, because I have astigmatism. My left eye sees far and my right eye sees near. So they match the lens for my right eye, so it'll be my reading eye, and my left eye will see Al's ugly face from far, far away. So,
but you get to see this cute little dog.
Yeah,
this is actually a tribble, guys. It's just a big tribble.
Yeah, that's a huge tribble.
It's a big tribble.
Yeah. So anyway, but I'm doing great. I can actually now see out of my right eye again. The cataract had pretty well clouded it over to I couldn't, if somebody walked up to me and said hi and I could only see out of that eye, I wouldn't be able to know who it was. So it's funny how quick those things, because I just had glasses over it a little over a year ago, and they said, oh, it'll take 2 or 3 years for it to grow. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. It took a lot quicker. It grew a lot quicker than what they said. So, but everything's going good. Hardly no pain, and the biggest thing is the dilation. Even today, they said it'd take 2 to 3 days for the dilation to go away, because they have to dilate it somewhat much. And I can tell the difference between the brightness of it. I can see the difference. So, but other than that, I'm doing fantastic. So thank y'all for everybody that comment. And Russ hit Gordy from Star Trek over the head and stole his new eye. Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm doing good. Very, like I said, very minimal pain. Surgery went fantastic, and everything's good. So I guess we're going to talk about, for some reason, this computer over here kind of quit working. I don't know why. Trying to get it to catch up. So tonight we're going to talk about, and this one up here, what is going on over here? There we go. That one's working now too. We're going to talk about why we make, basically just random discussion. And when we get to a point, I will ask y'all out, not right now, because we're going to be talking, but when we get to a point about halfway through the show, I'll ask y'all to chime in out there as to, you can type in why y'all do what you do, why you make. So, and we'll look at some of y'all's answers on why you do it. So I know Paul's going to probably cut out of here about halfway through. So Paul, I'll let you go first. What got you into making? Why do you continue to make?
I don't know. I just enjoy making stuff and getting into different things like laser and 3D printing, and
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. I just beat Al in finalizing this project.
Oh, that's nice.
He was
Where's
making
mine?
one, and I was making one, and
I got mine behind the.
I got mine done. And you put
Yeah.
a little tea light in it, and it.
Here, hold on. Let me make you full screen so we can see that. All right, go ahead.
There it is.
Oh yeah,
And you can
that
put a little
is
tea
awesome.
light in it and make light on it. I made that on the laser.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, I enjoy
I like
the laser. I enjoy the laser and the 3D printer, and
That's basically me too. I mean, like right now, for instance, I can't. Doesn't want me outside in the sunlight or around any dust or dirt for next 5 days at least.
okay,
So,
you can take me off full screen.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I haven't done any scrolling in about a year.
And I did a project on my CNC where I did my first 3D carving, and as long as I've had that CNC, I'd never messed with doing that, and that came out neat. It was easier than I thought it was going to be.
Now, did you create the file, or you just downloaded one and run it?
I downloaded one because I've got Pro. I don't have Aspire.
Right.
So I downloaded a file and did it.
Run it.
It came out really nice.
Yeah.
No, don't lick. Don't lick. Don't lick.
I don't lick.
Don't lick.
That
But,
dog has lighter hair than Bella did, doesn't she?
A little bit, yeah. A little bit. A little bit. But really pretty.
I just kind of make just for my own satisfaction and
just to keep you busy.
Keep me busy.
And keep this thing up here
my
working.
mind sharp, but it isn't always that sharp.
No, I agree with you. That's another thing too, is they say that the more you use this thing up here, the better off you are, especially with Alzheimer's and dementia. It helps. Yeah, it helps.
Did you make a top for yours, Al?
Huh?
Did you make a top for yours?
Yes, I did. And this is the top here.
Well, that's cool. And then you use a cutout center.
And I've got a little deal here that's a bunch of these little hearts from the sides.
Yep.
Got a question out there.
And they stack up. And then the tea light goes.
Oh, the file was from Etsy, Michelle.
Yeah. He said the file was from Etsy, so just type in heart
box, I think.
Yeah.
Heart box. Okay.
I'll put the link out there. Let me find it.
Yeah, go ahead.
And
Al is going to try to find the link for you.
12, I think. I don't know how many are in here. It was like $5.99 for these.
I've got that same box.
Yeah.
And that's what they look like.
Me too.
What? 20 of them.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
they're nice little lights.
Exactly.
I got that same box myself.
Yeah, I do too. Let me tell you what I did. I ordered a box of them, and I put them somewhere, and I put them somewhere so good that I couldn't find them. So I ended up ordering another box, and guess what?
Now
4 or 5 days later, I found the first box. So now I've got 40 of those suckers.
40 of them, yeah.
So I'm like, dang, I won't run out of tea lights for a while.
You're gonna have to make something to sell just so you can get rid of the tea lights.
Yeah, exactly. So that makes it nice. And then, all right, so Paul, you do it just for the heck of it.
Yeah, keeps me busy, gives me something to do.
Now you have in the 3D printers, you have an A1 and a PS1.
No, I
Or
just have
P1S?
A1. And
The
I used to have a Creality CR10S, but I gave that to my son-in-law.
Right. Cool.
So I've just got the A1 with and I really like it. It's a great printer.
Yeah. I was going to say when I had to be in Orlando Thursday, and I went through the Altamont Springs Mall in Orlando, and I ran into a guy in the Altamont Springs Mall that 3D prints, and he was selling his 3D printed pieces. Some of the stuff I have printed. I've
You
downloaded
already
and printed
told
the
us
file.
that story.
I know. I'm telling the people out there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I already told
Talk about
the.
dementia. That's
Yeah. No, I knew. I already told y'all. I'm telling everybody out there because I wanted to tell them that the guy has a print farm of like 60 printers, and 40 of them are A1 bamboos. So he said those things are pretty well indestructible. And they do the auto bed leveling, and they have a lot of other features. Plus, you can get the AMS for 4 colors. So if you don't want to spend the money for an X1C or a P1S, I guess it is, or PS1, whichever. Right now, they have the A1 on sale with the AMS for $500 at Bamboo.
yeah.
So
I just did a video not too long ago about a modification I did on mine where I put an extra light on it on the gantry, a LED light strip, and it's under Paul's Messy Workshop on YouTube if anybody is interested.
cool.
It's only like a $10 improvement, but boy, it sure gives you a lot more light.
Everybody's saying thanks, Al, for putting the link out there for that. So
I hope it wasn't. I hope it wasn't. I hope it was the Etsy file and not my file.
no, it says Etsy.com. So it's Etsy.
Yeah, it wouldn't let you download it anyway.
Yeah. So well, actually, the first person in line is Donna. So Donna, why do you make?
I make to keep myself out of trouble.
That's a good one.
Well, I saw, I used to do like crochet and beaded stuff, and I'd go to a craft show, and I saw some scroll saw work and some pins, and I'm like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
Because I grew up where my grandma did stuff. Both my grandmas, I mean, they were all crafty. I'm like, I want to do it. So that's when I started out with that. And then I went over to doing more of the embroidery when I developed the allergy to wood, to where I do that occasionally, but more this. And then the 3D printing just seems really neat. So I want to do that. And another reason I do it is I want my grandkids to learn the stuff and get off of the games and the YouTube stuff, little kid things. It's like, they got to learn something. And I just finished this, which was a cell phone case for Mark. Oh, there we go. Out of the TPU. So that's done. It's fun to do. I mean, I'm going to either sit around playing video games or I'm actually going to get up and do stuff.
Yeah.
So,
if you get a little older, and you can't obviously do some of the things you used to do. I knew an elderly couple. Actually, it was my ex-wife's grandparents, and she was developing Alzheimer's and dementia. And I walked in, and they had a Nintendo, and she was playing Mario Brothers. And this old gray-haired lady sitting there playing Mario Brothers, and I'm laughing. And actually, the doctor told them to play video games because it kept her mind functional and it would help with the Alzheimer's and the dementia. Right. And so it's keeping this thing up here working. So when you say that, you're right. It helps keep your mind busy, keeps your mind functioning, help you think about things, and you have to problem solve in some of the things you do. So it helps.
They done right there. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, most of the video games I have is like Zelda and Mario and
yeah.
West.
Yeah. Yeah, I got so good at Mario Kart, people didn't want to play me because I beat them all the time. Yeah, I used to love Mario Kart. So, Jim, why do you make?
Let's see. I originally wanted to replace I don't know, $1,000 a month or something just for extra money to supplement retirement. But
tell me how you're doing it.
not yet.
Well,
When my
keep
dad
trying.
died, I got his shop, and then when my father-in-law died, I got most of the stuff out of his shop. And when my brother-in-law died, I got all his shop. So now I've got, let me see, is that, yeah. So now I got 4 shops like all bunched together. Then I got kind of involved
We got Flea.
with everybody. I started watching Steve Ramsey stuff on YouTube and started making stuff with that. And I'm like, okay, I really like this. Before it was like doing construction type stuff, and I got tied up with the group, if you want to call it that. The guys that were kind of always hanging out with each other online and that kind of thing. And I don't know, I just over the years got the 3D printers and the laser and all that kind of stuff. And now that I just retired in beginning of January, when it gets warm outside and I can go back out in the garage and work on stuff, then I'll go heavy duty into it. Then we got all that stuff for Glenna's quilting business and everything, and we're doing craft shows and that kind of stuff with that. So I'm going to be putting woodworking stuff in her craft show booth.
So am I.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got a bigger, one of her Christmas presents was a 10 by 20 tent instead of the 10 by 10 that she's got. So we could get extra tables and like buy 2 booth spaces next to each other and have bigger booths. So I'll be able to do a lot of like the wooden toys and plates and stuff like that I've been doing.
You gonna put any 3D printed stuff out there too?
Yeah, I think so. But you go to these shows and like everybody and their brothers got like a billion 3D lizards,
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Everybody and the multicolored filament and stuff.
Yeah,
they're cool. Nobody buys them,
Yeah, they're flooding the market with them.
Yeah, it's not even worth doing
You
it.
had to jump on the wagon 20 years ago. That was the problem. Now everybody and their grandma has them.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody and his brother has a 3D printer, and everybody's printing them damn dragons.
Yeah.
Everybody's got lasers.
Yeah.
Yep.
It used to be so much fun when I built my laser. I was like 32. Well, there was no such thing as guys having lasers in their basement,
Yep.
and that was so cool. Everybody wanted one, and it's a whole different story now. Same with the 3D
this last kind of season for the craft shows and stuff, between Thanksgiving and Christmas time, I went around and looked at some of the stuff and talked to the people in their booths and kind of got stuff to target for this coming season's craft shows. And some of the stuff you wouldn't even think of, like one guy made a cornhole scoreboard with a couple of beer can holders in it and a little, it's like a fold up thing made out of 2x4s and a 4x4 in the middle, and you just set it up and it's got a chalkboard on it and a couple of beer can holders and just stuff like that. And he brought like 12 of them to this show, and he sold every one of them in about 6 hours, he said.
Wow.
It's just
You see, that's another thing. When the cornhole became really, really popular, everybody and his brothers were making cornhole.
But they're not making the score thing. They're not making the
No.
cornhole. Yeah, that's where he
He found his little niche.
Wait until next year and see how many people are copying.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll go by and see that and say, I'm going to make them for next year.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I will, but
Sure.
will they really? Because a lot of people don't want to make stuff. They just want to buy it anymore. They don't.
Oh, sure. There's a lot of money out there.
Yeah.
No, that's the thing. You've got to, even in 3D printing, in scroll saw, in laser, I don't care what it is, you've got to find the little niche that it's like a gold mine. You struck gold but it'll only be hot for a while. You might get 1 or 2 craft shows, I'm saying, for a year or 2 out of it, and then it's going to dry up because once everybody starts knowing, they're going to start duplicating themselves. And that's the thing with the dragons and 3D printers. People started making them and they were a hot commodity, and people were jumping on the bandwagon. Well, hell, I'm going to buy a 3D printer and I'm going to make them. And next thing you know, everybody's got a 3D printer and everybody's printing them and the market's flooded.
Yep. So that's my story, and I'm sticking by it.
Okay, Dances with Aardvark says fidget spinners. Now you can buy a case of them for pennies. He says he buys them just for the bearings. Yeah, they're actually cheaper than the bearings. Dan Inge said his wife used to play games to help her memory until one day she forgot how to turn on the computer and refused to play. Yeah, that's a sad thing. It's Alzheimer's and dementia is really, really sad. I do woodworking because my Aussie man says I do woodworking because my ex-wife said it's me or the woodworking. So yeah.
Aussie Man says that since he doesn't have a wife anymore, he goes out there and plays with his wood, I believe, or something like that. I read a comment similar to that. Or wait, he gets off on playing with his or playing with wood. I think is what he said.
Quit while you're ahead, Al.
Yeah. Yeah. So Donald.
Yeah, I've always liked playing with wood.
See, I told you.
From the time I was little, I was always helping my father build stuff, and I enjoyed working with wood, and kind of got away from it when I went to work because raising having youngins and paying child support and all that good stuff. You're working all the time. And finally, my liver failed, and I had to quit drinking. I sitting there about to go crazy because obviously couldn't drink no more. And I started with the Dremel tool, doing a little bit of wood carving again. Next thing you know, I was fiddling with dovetails and all that. It just kind of takes me off into my own little world, and I can make a few bucks off of it back every once in a while. So I just enjoy doing it.
Yeah. And that's it. It just keeps you occupied.
And I've always been, even when I was a kid, from Lincoln logs to the Richter sets.
Yeah.
I like tinkering a little stuff like that.
Yeah, it keeps you occupied, keeps you out, who was it said, keeps you out of trouble. So, yeah.
And the Richter sets, I was always, they always come with instructions on how to build what was supposed to be, that kit's supposed to be for. Well, I've always been that person that opens the box, takes the instructions. And I had to figure out how to build it myself after that.
Well, that gets you into trouble. That gets you into trouble sometimes, especially if you're putting something together and don't follow the instructions.
That's why I'm a big stickler for it now. Just whether you read them or not, hold on to them.
Yeah. Well, sometimes I got in trouble a couple of times when I put things together and then found out there was a part, and I found out that about halfway through this should have put it. So you best been put in. So you basically have to disassemble half of it to get that part back in. So that's aggravating.
When I was working at the blue box store, we was helping a customer buy one of those. It was a table saw, the portable table saws and all that.
Yeah.
But the guy found out, said, just make sure you keep the instructions, whether you read it or not. That way you can read and find out what you did wrong and why you're missing a finger.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. All right. So Dixon, why you make?
I always found a niche or solve a problem somewhere, and I got lucky with the 3D printing because back when I started building them, they came out with the Arduino board in 2006, and there were no printers in the United States, so I built 7 homemade ones out of bearings and threaded rod, and I could throw an Arduino board on it, and that was the cat's meow. And then I ended up with making a lot of parts and stuff for manufacturing, and I ended up with 25. A small farm, 25 printers, but it wasn't like nowadays. You had to do the actual, with Marlin, you actually had to do the programming to get what you want, where now you can just There's 3D
Yeah.
printers you can buy online, pull out of the box, and hit the road with it. You know.
Yep.
And it was always a lot of fun way back then because nobody had this stuff yet.
Yeah, they're already pre-programmed now.
Oh yeah, there's one of my buddies. He has 50 bamboo labs, and he's making a pile of money. And it was a lot back then. I would go through 30 rolls of filament a month, and that was considered quite a bit of filament. Where
Yeah,
now,
it would still be for me.
it's a different story nowadays with these bigger farms. They just get pallets full, you know, to get a good deal.
Yeah.
On. And that was another thing that I started out. You had to pay $60 for PLA, and you had to pay $90 for when they came out with the resin. And shit, now you can get them for $15. I roll a nice PLA from Sun.
Oh yeah, I've seen Amazon sales for $12.99 rolls.
Yep, that's the Amazon ones. I always bump it up a little because I've been real good results with Sunlu. So they're around $16-17, and I still use quite a bit of filament, but not like I used to. I'm down. I sold it all, and I'm down to 5 printers right now. I kept the old King runes, the CR10. I have original first CR10, but it's modified. It heats the bed up in 30 seconds because I put an SSR in it, so it heats it up in 30 seconds. So, because it used to take when the CR10 first came out, it used to take so long to heat the bed up. So I modified that right away.
Yeah.
I have 2 big ones with 12-inch, and then 3 little King Rune printers, and they can do whatever I need to do. But I took all my tools and everything, and now it's toward a hobby. After I retired, I got rid of all the business end, but there was always. When I was younger, there was always a niche. I would see something that somebody had a problem, solve their problems, and that way you could make a lot of money on 3D printed parts.
I don't know if you noticed or not, Dixon, but FL Sun discontinued the V400. They not only discontinued it, they no longer support it and no longer make parts for it.
Yeah, I sold 3 SF Fun Q5s, and the only one I have is right there. And there's a guy down at work that wants that. I got $100 for each one, which is, after using them like I did, it's a pretty good deal. But if you want to get into production, need things fast, I mean, you're not going to beat the technology in the bamboos.
No. So that being said, I need to reprogram mine. For some reason, it messed up, and I don't know why. I guess when it downloaded the last update on it, it messed up my programming. So I might need your help because right now it's a boat anchor
on your one of your FL Suns,
the V400.
Oh yeah,
and they're not. I've got all the files that I need supposedly to reprogram it. But I've tried. It says take these files and put them into the Pi, and put it onto a mini SD card, and you put that onto your or into your motherboard and boot it, and it's supposed to reprogram it. It don't work.
Hopefully they're better than years ago, because if I had a burden of firmware on these printers that you started buying from Amazon, the older ones, you had to get an Arduino board and do all kinds of this jumping crap on the board, and then you would be able to reburn that chip.
Well,
so
I think
it might be better for. Well, no, that's the board. I only had one where I had to replace the screen.
Yeah, I think FL Sun shot themselves in the foot, because there are a lot of V400 people that are extremely upset with them right now, and I'm one of them. I wouldn't buy anything from them anymore.
Yeah.
By dropping the ball on that, I think they're going to end up coming back and saying, "Hey, we're going to support them now. You can get parts or whatever." But I think it's going to be too late. I think it's going to damage their reputation, because they flat out dropped it. They don't support it. They don't make parts.
Well, that's a sign. That's a sign of they might be having financial problems.
From what I understand, that's not the case. They dumped everything into their new one that is like a closed cabinet,
Oh,
that it can do carbon fiber. They're trying to force you to buy that one. That's the reason they dropped the V400.
you have to
It's
compete
built,
with the high speed printing, and that's why they're changing.
yeah, it's built off the V400 platform, and basically all they do is upgrade it and put the enclosure around it.
Yep.
Yeah, but if you were going to buy something from them, you look at that and go, what happens when they don't feel like supporting this one anymore?
Yep.
Yeah,
You know,
Yep.
so why would you, the longevity for whatever their life cycle for their products are, that they're going to support them? You know,
well,
you
that's why I
wouldn't
said
touch that. You wouldn't
Yeah.
touch
I
it
think
at
they
all.
What I
shot
bet-
themselves in the foot.
You
Yep.
know what I bet is going on is they got a Delta printer will do 25% faster than any bed slinger off the bat because the way that the algorithms and them arms, articulating arms move. But here's the problem. So they make the FL Suns, the newest ones, they make them print really fast with 32-bit board and a bed slinger. You can put software in there to compensate for that vibration like Bamboo is doing. But how do you compensate with software for that vibration for them three arms moving so fast?
They've got a way to do it now, and that's one of the things that screwed up mine.
I think they're going to have issues with it. That's what I'm saying. It's easier to do that with good linear bearings with Bamboo, and then they have all that neat software.
Yeah,
On
Dick's,
there,
or
but-
Jim, did you ever get that thing put on yours?
I haven't got it yet.
Oh.
That accelerometer, I haven't got it
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah.
I just sent him an email today and said, "Are you guys ever going to send this thing to me?"
I would
Yeah.
be
It was
really skeptical
January 11th.
buying FL Sun stuff.
Yeah, I'm not going to buy anything. They screwed themselves over as
Yeah,
far as I'm
there's-
concerned.
There's going to be some companies really going to the wayside with the new
Yep.
AI stuff if they're using it. Like Bamboo is crushing everybody right now.
Yep. So yeah, I might need your help on reprogramming this thing because I've tried and I can't get it to work. So it comes up with Clipper. No, not Clipper. Is it Clipper?
Yeah, Clipper is the one way to make it run all faster too. They're not using Marlin in that no more. They're
No,
using
it's
a
not
bigger
Clipper.
processor board,
Oh,
and then they're throwing Clipper in there.
No, it comes up with Moonraker is not working. That's what it is.
Yeah,
Moonraker. And
they might be
supposedly,
using a different software then.
yeah, Moonraker is supposedly the part of the software that makes it connect to the internet.
Okay.
But anyway, it's pretty well useless. If I can't fix it, then all I can do is sell it for parts if somebody wants to buy it. That's what I was trying to do. I was looking on all around to see if anybody had one fairly cheap, and I was going to buy it and just take the motherboard out of theirs and put it in mine because mine's fairly new, and see if I could get that to work. But I don't know. We'll see. Basically, I spent $800, I think it was at the time.
That's what you should be able to do is find the main board somewhere online and just buy it and
Well, that's
change it out.
yeah, that's what I want to try. But anyway, I think so. Basically, I got an $800 boat anchor.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, all right, now, Mr. Owl, why do you
Yes,
make?
sir. Let me get over here to where I can see where I'm at. Let me get off of the. Oh, where the heck is this? Oh, here we go. Streamer. Let me talk about me, I guess. I do it just for fun, make a buck here and there, but I also like Dixon have had instances where I've been able to make something. Like up at work, we have a couple of items that we 3D printed, like to hang our Simpson meters, and there were some motor guards and stuff. So actual practical stuff. But you guys know me, okay? I love sci-fi.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
Artists.
all this stuff is eventually going to go up on my Etsy, whatever you call it, Etsy store, and I've already got this one sold. I'm hanging on to it if I don't break it first. These I think are going to be really cool. I started out
those are
printing
nice
stuff for Valentine's Day, and I went ahead and printed this here, which I got from Hobo with Wood, which is a heart mandala, and it's 3 pieces, and I recommend Hobo with Wood for designs also. And then on the because I'm a glutton for punishment, right? I decided to go bigger with the and it's really big on the inside. I mean, look at that, you know, it's huge. There's so many different things that can be marketed, I guess. You know, Paul had one of these a while back, you know, for Christmas. I guess that's green, you can't see it. But the point is there's so many things. I mean, it's awesome. It's awesome. I love what can be done. And you know,
Yeah.
I think it was Dan Engie was saying, and this is probably why I've really been doing a lot of laser stuff lately. Dan Engie was saying that, you know, he scrolls or didn't scroll for a year. I don't remember, but the last time I scrolled, my hands cramped up.
Yeah.
And I pretty much got away from it. So I've been using laser, but you know, just for fun is the real answer. I made this for Lil Red, and I'm going to let her put it together. It's a little lantern that'll have a little tea light in it, and these things will be whatever color she wants to put in them. You know, you can also, or this is what I've found. Why do you make? Well, it's a lot easier, and I have an X scarf. Any CNC is going to be dirty, right? But I've been going back to laser. I made a bunch of these to basically make some drawers little by little. I probably could go out and buy a whole drawer unit for $50, but I'm going to spend $50 in wood. You know, and then there's the stuff that you really, really can't, you know, find anywhere else. Again, this is going to be in the Etsy store, and
Right.
And
Yeah.
so I'm shamelessly advertising. So thank you for asking why or how but it's a lot of fun too. I mean, it really is, really is.
So we got another 20 minutes if people want to start help, and I need y'all's help to watch why y'all make. I know Leonard Davis is out there, Michelle Marcoux, Aussie Man, Dan Engie, and Dan Engie's the one that said he does scrolling, mostly scrolling, and he can make custom gifts for family and friends for birthday and Xmas presents. Yep. And they appreciate it more than stuff that's store bought. I agree with that.
Yep.
So Dances with Aardvarks is out there.
That's Mike.
Yep.
Is Jimbo out there?
James, I haven't seen him out there tonight. Chris Nealon's out there. JJE. That scoundrel Dixon Hoffman. He don't know. I thought we blocked him.
Dixon?
Who was that?
Yeah.
One for Leonard Davis too.
Leonard Davis. He's out there. Russ Meadows.
Hello, Russ.
Russ was on right after 8 o'clock. He was on when we started. So, Russ Meadows, yeah. So if y'all want to post why you make
out there.
Dances with Aardvark says I make stuff to keep my mind active and so I won't drink or I'm not out drinking.
It really helps.
I make stuff because it makes me drink.
Yeah, it makes you stuff because it makes you drink. Ryan Woodward says I make to drown out the voices. That's funny. I'm here. Where is here? Yeah, Chris Nealon, I'm here.
I don't believe how this dog is just. We picked her up today, and it's like she's like if she's been with me forever.
I think, therefore, I am.
I'm so happy with her.
Good.
Miss Bella so much too.
Yeah, you get attached to them.
Yes.
Any animal like that. I used to have, when I was on the farm, I had a pet chicken. We had a chicken that had a limp leg. In other words, he hobbled, and Dad was going to terminate it, and because the other chickens were kind of picking on it, and I said no. I built my own little cage pen for it, and I'd come home from school and let it out. That thing would follow me around the yard like a dog.
Oh, this gal is just, she's smart too.
I used to have a rooster that used to chase me. The damn thing was two feet taller than me when I was little. I couldn't get the eggs. That piece of crap would chase me. My dad went in there one time. He goes, "You big baby." I was like 6 years old, collected 8. Goes, "You big baby or something?" That rooster jumped on his back, and he took that rooster and threw it, and then it jumped on his back again, and he threw it against the rabbit coop, and then it had them stars like you see on the cartoons. Three times before that rooster stopped coming at him.
Well, they can hurt you. They got those spurs, and they can.
Big time.
Yeah, they can catch those spurs around your calf, and it hurts.
I still have a little bottle of Bella.
Oh, cool.
There you go.
Yeah. Chris Nealon says, seriously, I mate because I love it. I'm not to sell or make money, although I'm not against that. Yeah. For a long time, I made stuff and sold it, my woodworking stuff. Actually, if I went back into it, I have made more money selling woodworking stuff than I've ever made selling anything else, like 3D printing or laser or whatever. So the scroll saw stuff sold really, really good. And I had a lot of clients, but I don't know. I just wanted to try. I've done scroll sawing since I was a kid. And I bought my own scroll saw, my first one, and I think I was like 18 or 19 years old. And so I've scrolled my whole life. So 3D printing, laser, all this stuff, embroidery, it's all new to me, and it's actually fun. So it's not that I don't like scrolling and I wouldn't do any scrolling. I was thinking about doing some scrolling the other day, going out there and dusting the old thing off and getting it, make sure it all works, and so I could do some. So
many toys, so little time.
Yep.
Russ, you hit on a key word, and that is dust. In Texas, there's a lot of dust, but the CNC does do a lot of dust, and I've got a vacuum on it, and a brush and stuff, and the scroll saw does too. That's right. I mean, and it gets all over. I mean, it gets all over. But
the
laser's inside too, by the way. When it's hot outside, I don't have to go out there.
Well, where I have the CNC, the laser, and the scroll saw is all air conditioning. It's climate controlled in there.
Yeah, it's inside my house. I mean,
but the other stuff, and that's what I used to do in the summertime. I would get out there in the other shop and where my table saw and everything is, and break the stuff down and get everything prepped. And so by 11 o'clock, I was through and went into the other part of the shop that was climate controlled and started scrolling and stayed in the AC the rest of the day.
Yeah, my shop has an air conditioner in there, but when it's 110 degrees outside, man, I better go turn that thing on in the morning.
For 3 days. Leave it on. Yeah. And get everything cooled down.
Yes. But it was really nice this last summer with it in there. It's an 18,000 BTU air unit, but it's still not enough for my garage. But still, it's enough to where I'm at, basically.
We have the same problem, except for it's called a furnace.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a heater in there. Used it once this year so far, and I'm thinking of disconnecting the line and moving it back out because it was 80 degrees yesterday. So
yeah,
the day before.
We have a blizzard going on right now, and we got about 8 inches so far.
I don't miss the cold at all, guys.
Yeah, it's been warm here. It's been 80s for the last, I'm going to say 2 weeks, and we're expecting it to be in 80s this next week coming up. So we're back. We're already. Looks like we're already through with winter.
Al, if you do that, next winter will be the coldest winter Texas has ever seen.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
well,
If
no,
you
no.
remove that,
It's
that heater, it'll actually you'll get snow.
yeah. I actually have it mounted on top of the bench that I've got that I pull down and move around and stuff. But it's got a rubber hose that goes to a copper line that goes to just a 5-gallon butane tank, or propane or whatever it is.
That's propane.
Yeah. I mean, but that's propane.
Leonard-
Butane's for lighters.
Yep. Leonard Davis says, for me, it was a stress release. Now it's to keep my mind and eye-hand coordination going. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very good thing.
Yep.
So I have a
Do your own
question.
little world.
I've been working on old computers, and that's not making, but if I'm making them run, is that considered making?
Yes.
See, so it's part of the hobby, right? I mean,
All the technologies are a blast, and they're
And-
all
and they're-
related.
they are,
They're all
and there's-
related.
yeah,
You
and there's
use whatever pronouns you want to, Al.
there's kits that you can do like for the computers. I think this is a Pi 99. It goes. I think no, a Pi 1541. This is a emulated CD, or I'm sorry, memory card that you can use as a Commodore 1541 disk drive on the old Commodores. So I'm making.
So you're going to have that all together next week, right?
A
Or are you
disc-
going to
disc-
set that on top of that? Are you going to set that on top of your ship?
It's right here. It's
Your
right
boat.
here. It's right here. The ship is back there, by the way. See it? See it?
No, the boat. That kind
Oh
of
yeah,
ship.
the wood
The
one.
boat.
Again, it's back there.
Yeah.
And Dixon, what I thought about doing is taking it out into the shop and actually start cutting wooden parts to get it put back together instead of sitting here designing and working and stuff. Because I'm kind of, I need to cut a piece. Well, I can cut it with the laser, sure, but I can also sit there and cut the stuff.
I was going to say, if you're going to take that long on a CAD program designing, then you might as well throw it on a laser.
Well, it's the fact that I do 20 million things and
Yeah.
just go back and forth.
No, Al's like a squirrel, like the squirrel.
Oh,
on,
yeah.
what is it? Over the hedge.
And
Yeah,
and by
it's
the
like
way,
he starts on something over here, and then look, there's something shiny over here, and he runs over there and plays with that. Then he's like, look, there's
Yeah,
something over there, and he runs over there and does that. So
it's called
That's a
side
good one.
quests. They're not swirling. It's called side quests.
yeah,
For those
side quest.
gamers out there that know what side quests are,
He's easily distracted.
but when I focus, buddy, oh my God.
Watch out. When you
I'm bragging
focus,
now.
there's at least 3 more projects coming.
Yep. Well, everything that everybody said basically is the same answer that I would say too. Is I make because
It's
keep
fun.
myself busy, to keep my mind active. I enjoy learning new things. Years ago, whenever Dixon got me to get I think it was Dixon and Jim both said that, hey, I think my Ender 3 was like less than $200 at the time. And
Wow. It was
Yeah,
one of
I
the
got
best
it.
ones out there.
I still have it. It sits right over there beside me, and I've been printing some stuff on it. I've printed these little sharks that I give away to the kids at church, and I just turn it on. I print 4 of them at a time, and I just turn it on. It takes it like several hours. With the bamboo would do it in like 1 hour, but it doesn't matter. I just turn it on and let it go.
They call that
it's-
bamboo. They call that bamboo A1. It reminds me of the first kit that they came out with on the internet, and it was a A1 a net or something. It used to start
An
fires.
An ANET.
A-net, yeah, A1, and
I
it was
still
made
have
out of plexiglass or Lexan, and you had to build the kit, and I had to remodify the board because it was the ones that used to start fires.
Yeah.
They
The
had
one
no
I've got-
safety on overrun.
The one I've got has a modification on it to where it has, I don't remember exactly, it's been so long, but The only problem is at the back, there's a cable that flexes. and
Yeah,
that
you got to tie
cable-
that down.
Yeah. So no, I made a connector on it that actually holds it.
Right, or it'll break. Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
They would
But
start a
these
fire
are
that
the
way.
sharks. I make the pink ones for the girls and the red ones for the boys, and I give them away. And I make. I actually started doing some T-Rexes the other day, but I love that little bamboo. Somebody said that the other day about. I said no, I'll keep that one. That was my original. That's what got me started. So I ain't getting rid of it. But I'm seriously thinking about buying an A1 to replace the V400, and then shame every chance I get, I'm gonna ding Son, tell people don't buy it. They're a piece of crap. So, hell, Donna bought one, and it's a boat anchor now too because she can't get parts for it.
No, not
Do you
Donna.
sell it?
I still got it. It works great.
Yeah, mine did too.
I haven't updated it or anything, and I'm not going to.
Yeah, that's the best thing to do is don't update it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I have lots of people tell me, well, you need to get you an Etsy shop and start doing sales. And I keep trying to tell them, then it becomes a job. Right now, it's fun.
Right.
I
Well,
make-
and the next thing is too, you have to pay for the Etsy shop. They take a percentage of whatever you sell. So, I mean, if you sell something for $2, then they're going to take 20 or 30% of that. And time you pay tax and everything else, you ain't making no money off of it. So
I'll
that's the reason.
go do a craft show. I like
Yeah,
that.
that's the reason I don't use Etsy is because of their dollar what they pay charge you. So it's like, nah.
I'm like, nope.
A lot of people use the Facebook Marketplace, but
Yeah,
I'm
for
kind of
local, it
worried
works
about.
excellent. For
Huh?
local. It works excellent for local.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does.
That's what I
I
heard.
gotta put the blast furnaces on my little HO scale blast furnaces. I gotta put them on eBay because they take 30%. So I gotta put them on there for $360, and then I end up with my $300 or $320 because they get a big chunk.
Yeah, that's the reason I don't use them. I'm like, I ain't going to do that. So
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
and plus they've got they got like commercial crap on there too. And
yeah,
it started off as a handmade thing, but it's not that anymore.
and
Marketplace for is like, I got the Acu quilt that mother wanted and didn't use. And it's like, I put stuff like that on there. But
Yeah.
stuff I make, I'm like, then I got to worry about shipping and everything else.
yeah. Well, not unless you sell it local, but then you have to worry about you got to take it to where and meet them and sell it to them,
Right,
and then you got to
right.
worry about if they're shady people or whatever. So yeah, it's like
Yeah, the one thing about Etsy, like any place, like eBay or any place, you're going to pay something to have it
Yeah.
listed, and they're going to take a fee out.
Yeah.
But
yes,
I mean, I'm going to spend $6 driving across town to meet somebody in my time. How much is my time worth? How much is the gas? Hey, I'll give them 6.5%. It's just part. I'll build it in like
Cost of
any
sales.
other business does. They build in the fees.
But
Right.
I've seen some people on like eBay where they'll put, like, say they're selling a DeWalt scroll saw. It's for $5 and your shipping is $500.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's a con.
That's why.
yeah, that's a con.
And I've bought a lot of stuff lately off of eBay. Seriously, I bought a lot of stuff. But I look at the ones that have free shipping or a low shipping. I mean, if
Ship, yeah.
if it's
I bought
$5,
quite a few things.
okay,
Yeah.
It works
bought
really.
quite a few
It
things
works
off of
really
eBay.
slick. It works really slick, and you got to pay for that. I mean, boom! All of a sudden, the whole amount of money's in my PayPal. Then I just hit a button, and it prints out the address
Exactly.
sticker, and the whole works on my printer. I just got to slap it on the
Yeah.
box.
Yeah.
It works really slick, and you got to pay for all that advertising and stuff.
Has
And all the
anybody-
analytics, I can look and watch how many people are watching my products. It works good, but you got to add that. You got to add that 30% on there
exactly.
to get what
You're
you
talking
want.
about
Always add
eBay.
30%.
I used them a couple of times. One of them was I needed a part for something and I couldn't find it anywhere. And just out of curiosity, I typed in eBay, and lo and behold, about 4 or 5 of them showed up.
Yeah.
And Yeah, the one that I chose, it ended up it was a great price. The shipping wasn't bad, and it was brand spanking new, still in the box.
Yeah.
So
get some really good
Here's my
Yeah.
percentage chart. What I gotta add to it so I get what I want.
Yeah.
Right.
30% on the eBay. So I gotta add.
Hey,
Yep.
I've got a question. Has anybody used Amazon as a store? Has anybody out in the chat, or I guess anybody here? I mean,
I haven't.
and I don't mean buying. I mean, of course we bought, but
Selling.
No, you can have an Amazon store. The only thing that I did when I was going pretty good and had a lot of people actively following me, and when I was doing the scrolling with Russ and this show and a couple other things, is I used to I had an Amazon store, but it was I would recommend products. Yeah, an affiliate. Right? There you go. Yeah, affiliate. And I would recommend products, and they would buy them, and I get a percentage of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Amazon sells 0 products on Amazon.
Right.
They don't sell nothing.
Right.
Them are all people that buy products and resell them.
Yeah.
The biggest money maker where a guy made $2 million was those cloth maps. He had China make them for like $3 and he was selling them for 80.
Exactly.
And you would rub it off when you went and visited a state. And that was the biggest money maker on Amazon. So you could take a chance and buy a product for, if you had $200,000 and you made a deal with China and they'll ship the product over, you can make a pile of money, but you're really gambling because you've got to make sure when you get that product, all of a sudden you find something wrong with it, you're in deep trouble.
Right. Hey,
because there you sit with $50,000 worth of product and it's a big mistake on it where you're stuck.
A good example of what Dixon is saying is, remember when we were talking about pin nailers? And, I had never used a pin nailer or just a regular nailer. Well, I needed a pin nailer. And I looked on Amazon, saw one, okay? And or I went to Harbor Freight and looked at Harbor Freight. And then I looked on Amazon to see how much. That pin nailer was $30 at Harbor Freight and $60 on Amazon. So you have to actually look sometimes and compare.
Oh, yeah.
And that guy that sold that pin nailer for $60 on Amazon, if he bought enough of them, he could have got them for $10 a piece.
Sure.
But you're really taking the big dudes that make millions on Amazon. They fly to China and they specify what they want it made for and the quality, so they can't get burned. And then they check the quality and they say, okay, go make me 10,000 of these. Yep. And they got contracts to protect them because you could get burned in a hurry with $20,000,
Eloy, Rockin' Woodworks is out there, and he said Etsy was okay until they allowed for mass production items. Yes.
Yep.
And it pretty well it kind of destroyed it for the average Joe Blow to be selling stuff on there.
China wrecks everything, including the flea markets. All of a sudden, you go to flea markets and you used to have stuff there and crafts that people actually made. Now you look and you grab everything and you look underneath it and it says made in China.
Made in China.
That started wrecking the craft shows and everything too.
Hello, Eloy. Glad to see you out there. Listen, we're fixing to cut out of here.
Thing that happens around called.
Wow, it's 8:00 already. I didn't. Wow.
Yeah.
It's 9 o'clock.
What'd you say, Jim?
I was going to say we've got a thing here called Shipshawana on the road, and it's if you go to Shipshawana, Indiana, it's where all the Amish people are up in the northern part of the state, and you can go there, and there's a lot of Amish-made malls and stuff like that where you can get things. So anyway, they have this Shipshawana on the road, and it's like a big craft show and stuff, but it has turned into nothing but a Chinese resale thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's just, there's probably 30% of the stuff there is handmade stuff by people just doing craft show kind of thing.
Yep.
And the rest of it is all buying bulk crap from China and getting a booth at it. It's really destroyed it.
We have
a huge show, but
we have Amish country north here in Wisconsin and it's excellent. If you go to their stores for their craft stuff or food, I mean, it's not Chinese. It's excellent stuff. If you buy a Cornish hen from the Amish or a chicken, that is totally different taste than buying it from the store.
Yeah. Have you got Amish crack up by you?
Amish crack?
Yeah, they're like these really just donuts that just
Oh,
make you
I thought
melt.
it was cheese. I thought that was Amish crack.
It's not cheese. No, we call it Amish crack because you can't eat enough of them.
yeah.
All right, guys. Thank y'all all for being out there. Leonard Davis, Eloy, Dennis Meku, Meko. Not quite sure how to pronounce that, but also Michelle Marcoux, and Aussie Man, and Dan Ingy, and JJE, and trying to get my mouse back here where I can use it off the top monitor. Chris Neeland.
Yeah, Chris said he's making the box right now. It's really a lot of fun to put it together. So wait a second. I'm sorry, Chris. Make sure that you have these hearts in the right direction. I'm just saying. Don't ask me how I know, but anyway. Okay.
Leonard Davis been out there. Thank you for being out there. Dances with Aardvarks. I think I said JJE, Michelle Marcoux, Russ Meadows. All those have been out there. Thank you very much for being here tonight. So we're about to close out. Listen, if you're too darn busy to get out in your shop and make some sawdust, you're lazy, or you're maybe you have
Busy,
arthritis
maybe.
and it's bothering you today. But get out in your shop and make some sawdust. Make something. It's fun, and try new things. I would suggest that too. Don't be afraid to try new things. They still have a lot of 3D printers that are really low in price. They actually still make enders. So get one of them and start learning how to make stuff. But get out in your shop and make something. Make some sawdust. Just give me sawdust, lots of sawdust all around me and everywhere. I like it flying all around my shop and even in my beard and hair. Good night, everybody. Thank you for watching, and God bless.
And
you don't have to go home,
but
but you stay here.
Oh,
Yep.
saying it.
You got to leave. Yep. You got to go. See you later, alligator.